difficult question to do with the polysmelt function in your graph. So what we're going to do is we're going to be given 3 points. It might ask you to find the equation of the quadratic, given that these 3 coordinates are on the graph. So the 3 coordinates we're going to be given in this particular question is -1, 6, 2, 26, and finally 7, 1. Now this looks complicated, but it's not really. First of all, in the question, it might give you the equation of the quadratic. You should also know what this is. It's going to be ax squared plus bx plus c. So we need to find what a, b, and c is, and this might state this in the question. So what we need to do, using these 3 equations, we are going to set up 3 equations using these 3 coordinates. So let's go. So the first equation we're going to say is we're going to look at the first coordinate. So when y is 6, we've got x is -1. So we're going to get a times -1 times -1, which is 1, plus b. B is going to be lots of x. X again is -1 plus -b plus c. We don't know what c is. And you can see that a plus and a minus next door to each other is minus. So that's our first equation. 6 equals a minus b plus c. Our second equation is going to be substituting in this one here. So where we have got y, we're going to replace this with 26. Then we're going to have a times x squared, which is 2 times 2, minus, or plus potentially, we're going to do plus b times x. X is going to be obviously 2. And then finally plus c. Now you can see I've done a longer working out method here, and that's because I thought it might be useful for you to see what's going through my head. So 2 times 2 is 4, 4a plus 2b plus c. So that is our second equation, which links with the second vertex, the underlined vertex. Now let's go on to the third equation. This one I'm going to put in italics, which is 7, 1. So what we're going to do is wherever we've got a y, we're going to put a 1, and wherever we've got an x, we're going to put a 7. So we're going to do ax squared, x is 7, so it's going to be 49a plus 7 lots of b plus c. And now we have a system of equations. We have 3 equations, and when solved together, we're going to be able to work out a, b, and c. Basically, if you've got 3 unknown variables, you need 3 equations to solve for all of them. If you've got 2 unknown variables, like in the previous video, you need 2 equations, simultaneous equations to solve them. So this is what it looks like, and we need to put these into the polysmelt part of the calculator. So getting the calculator open, we are going to go on to apps. We're going to go on to polysmelt number 9. We're going to simultaneous equations. I made an error, so let's just do that quickly again. Simultaneous equations. We're going to go on to 3 equations. And what we're going to do is we're going to go on to 3 unknowns, because we've got a, b, and c, which are all unknown. Then we're going to press next. There we go. Now we need to type in these equations. It says x, y, and z, but that's just going to be our a, b, and c. So for the first one, we've got 1a, a negative b, and then we've got a positive c. You can see there was an error because I need to put the small negative. Then on the next line of the equation, we are going to have the following: 26, 4, 2. Now you can see I've made an error with the second one, because what I should have done is 4, 2, 1. And that's because I was rushing this question. And then last equation is 49, 7, 1. And you can see that all the C's are 1. And you'll often have this in this kind of question. Then what we're going to do is we're going to say what they all equal to, which is 6, 26 and 1. 6, 26 and 1. And then finally, I'm going to scan through to see if they all look correct. 6, 26 and 1, 6, 26 and 1. The C's are all 1, which is our Z. Minus 127. Great. 1, 4, 49. That's really important to do in the exam. Click graph. Now here are our answers. Now in your exam you're going to expect whole numbers, but these would give us the solution. So what we then do is we're going to say that X is our A, Y is our B, and Z is our C. So that's the last confusing bit, is to substitute it in. So it might ask you in the question to find what A, B and C is, and you'd say, well, A is minus 35 over 24, B is 65 over 8, and C is going to be 187 divided by 12. Now, what does this mean in practice? Well, you don't need to actually know what this means, but if we went on to Desmos and we had a quadratic graph, and we went to the graphing calculator, and we typed in the following function, y equals ax squared plus bx plus c. This is a quadratic graph. Now a, we're going to change to minus 35 over 24. B, we're going to change to 65 over 8. And C, we're going to change to 187 over 12. There we go, there's our quadratic. We know it's a quadratic because of its shape, and we're going to check about the minus 1, 6. So let me have a look. If I go into Desmos again and I put in a new coordinate, you can see that coordinate indeed is on the graph. The next one. 226, yep, that's on the graph. And last but not least, 7, 1. But that's on the graph. So you can check your answers by doing this. I will give you a question for you to practice and work out what the equation of the graph is based on 3 coordinates or something similar. Good luck.